What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Combat Corner. Powered by Come On Now, the podcast. I am your host, Rudy Rodriguez Shomon. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, leave your comments. We got KnuckleMania 6 on deck. BKFC KnuckleMania 6 in Philadelphia on Saturday night, 7 p.m. Xfinity Mobile Arena, home of the Philadelphia 76ers. If you are not there, you need to be on here watching the fight with me back there, as I will be rocking a live watch party. I might have some surprise guests. I don't know yet. I'm working on some logistics. Can't tell you who they're going to be if it happens, but if it does, I promise you will be excited. So make sure if you are not there, you are watching with me. This fight is on free TV. It's on the BKFC app. It's on Fubo Sports. It's on a number of other platforms. It is free. You don't got to worry about paying for it. This is going to be a bananas card. Let's talk about it. But before we jump in, let me give a shout out to the sponsor of our show, Natalie Lopez, attorney at law. When life hits hard, the law firm Natalie Lopez hits back harder, practicing the areas of criminal defense and family law. She can be reached at 954-888-8833. That's 954-888-8833. And of course, you can also follow her on Instagram at nat.guilty. That's nat.guilty. She will fight for you. Also, let me give a shout out to our sponsor, Ralph Sanchez Law, practicing the areas of personal injury, slip and fall, motor vehicle accidents, trucking accidents, wrongful death, birth defects, brain defects, you name it, negligence, security, premises liability. If you have been injured due to someone else's negligence, give Ralph and his team a call at 305-574-9302. That's 305-574-9302. Based in Southwest Miami, Florida. You can also follow him on Instagram at Ralph Sanchez Law. Reach out to Ralph, Enrique, and the team. They will take care of you. Let's jump in on this video. This is a preview of BKFC KnuckleMania 6. But before we jump into the preview of KnuckleMania 6, there was a big news drop today in this press conference they had with all the fighters, or most of the fighters who were there. The Ben Bonner fight with Tony Soto. This was a fight that took place last June in Texas. Bonner came over the pond on 8 days' notice, put on a masterful performance, won the interim strap over Tony Soto after Franco Tanaglia had decided to compete with another organization a week before the fight with Tony Soto. Messy situation. Tanaglia gets stripped. Bonner gets I think it was the interim belt, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm misremembering, please do correct me in the comments. He wins this belt. He is the champion going into this. It was the interim because they then did a 155 lightweight tournament that featured Ben Bonner, Austin Trout, Luis Palomino, and they brought back Franco Tanaglia to fight Ben Bonner. Well, Franco Tanaglia got a ridiculous decision win over Ben Bonner in that fight, one that most people thought Ben Bonner won. Rounds 3 through 5, Ben Bonner clearly won. Tanaglia came out like a crazy man. For rounds 1 and 2, he looked good. He was winning those 2 rounds. The last 3 rounds, he did not win. It was not close. And he wins the fight. He gets this fight with Austin Trout for the strap at 155 sometime this year. I think it's going to be probably in April or May. In Dubai, probably, and he has that fight. Well, now apparently Franco Tanaglia has done the okie doke again. He has signed with the PFL. So here we are wondering, well, what's going to happen? Well, today it was announced. Dave Feldman announced the winner of this Ben Bonner Tony Soto fight, Ben Bonner Soto 2, will be fighting Austin Trout for the vacant lightweight championship of the world. Wow. I thought that Bonner won that fight against Tanaglia. If he had just been given the win like he's supposed to be in that win, we would not even be sitting here right now. But even more so, if the BKFC had learned its lesson, by the way, Tanaglia acted unprofessionally in scheduling a fight before his title fight with Tony Soto. I mean, we wouldn't be here either. The BKFC better not trust Franco Tenaglia ever again. Period. That's just my opinion. They better not trust that dude ever again. Ever again. So now this fight with Ben Bonner and Tony Soto is a mega fight, not just a fight, but a fight to determine who will fight Austin Trout for the championship in a few months. Let's jump in to this fight card. Ben Rothwell, Andrei Arlovski is the main event of this fight card. Ben Rothwell is the champion. He is 4-0 in the BKFC. Andrei Arlovski is 1-0. He has one win. And here he is fighting for a title. These guys have a history. Two fights before, Arlovski took care of business, beat Ben Rothwell twice in MMA, but this is not MMA. And it's been a number of years since they fought. And here we are, a trilogy. And Ben Rothwell is the defending champion. He's been a very, very great, very good, very powerful, huge man, power. He won over Mick Terrell via devastating knockout. The man is strong. He's powerful. He is, I can say he's strong. He's big. He's powerful. We all know this. And I'm telling you right now, I found out today that Andrei Arlovski has battled cancer 3 times and he's here. That's just an incredible story. To be quite honest, that's a wow story to be for real. And God bless him. But this is for a strap, and let's see which big man comes out on top. I will give my predictions at the end, so don't leave the video. I will let you know at the end who I'm picking to win these fights. But Ben Rothwell, Arlovski are the main event of this card now. The co-main event is Lorenzo the Juggernaut Hunt against Dave Redneck Mundell. Goddamn, you got the middleweight champion versus the light heavyweight champion, pound for pound. Number one versus number two. This is the king of the BKFC. You could throw all the king of violence garbage away. This is the king of the BKFC, man. They should have a belt just because. I don't know what weight class this fight is at because I've heard Mundell say he's coming at 185. That is the strap that Hunt holds. I don't think this is for a championship. It doesn't say here on the website. I don't think it's for a belt. I don't know what the weight class. Maybe it's at 195. Maybe it's at 190. I'm not sure. Who cares? We'll find out later today when they do their weigh-ins. And you can't ask for a bigger fight. This is probably the biggest fight the BKFC could make. The two kings of BKFC, the guys have been around for a very long time. Mundell 10-1, Lorenzo Hunt 12-2. It's going to be a slobber knocker. I'm excited about this fight. I think everyone should be excited about this fight. This is the true main event to most people because this is a fight that headlines any card, but you have the heavyweight championship on the line right here. So that's what trumps it. This is a style fight. Mundell with his quickness and speed, his precision, his accuracy, and Lorenzo Hunt with his power and explosiveness. And look, Lorenzo Hunt is very technical as well, but Mundell is another level of technical fighter. Can Hunt catch Mundell? Can Mundell avoid getting cracked by one of them big overhand rights? Can he avoid the Mike Richmond, Josh Dyer punch? That knocked out both those guys unconscious with 10 seconds to go in round one of both of those fights. Hunt just finished decapitating Josh Dyer for the light heavyweight strap. He wants to fight for the 205 strap. This fight was supposed to be Hunt versus Yoel Romero. Yoel Romero disappeared, decided to go fight, decided to catch a cold. I'm not being mean, but I'm just saying what I think. I don't think Yoel Romero wanted that fight, and he looked for a way out. And apparently now Dave Feldman has said that this fight that he has scheduled over in Russia was already something that Yoel Romero had planned, but magically he's already healthy. If you were healthy for a couple of weeks from now, why aren't you healthy for this one? I don't get that either. If you're healthy for a couple of weeks from now, why aren't you healthy to fight Lorenzo Hunt? Just 2 weeks make that big of a difference for your health because it wasn't like he was sick this week. He was sick. He had the flu like a month ago prior to him losing in an RAF wrestling match. So if that fight ever happens, I'd be surprised. I don't think it ever will now. But this fight's a bigger fight. Hunt Mundell is the biggest fight the BKFC can make, and it's gonna be a banger. Johnny Garbarino and Kane Tomlinson Jr. Cannoli versus Canine. Johnny Garbarino throws a cannoli at Tomlinson. The shtick is getting a little tired. I love cannolis, and I think you're wasting lots of cannolis. You're throwing cannolis at people. I thought the first time he did it was funny. Second time he did it was funny. Third time he got a little silly. And this one now it's becoming ridiculous. I'm surprised that one of these guys who's fighting doesn't come out with a baseball bat or with a pot of boiling hot water or a pot of a bucket of water or something to throw at him back because you can expect he's going to do something stupid and people think it's funny, but I think it's become a little bit silly and ridiculous. And it was, like I said, there's one that time it's funny in the beginning, but it's no longer funny anymore. So, but he thinks it's hilarious. That said, this is gonna be a very interesting fight. Gabrino's a massive favorite in this fight. A lot of shit talking going on in the press conference today. They were probably two of the biggest shit talkers of the press conference. But I think it's gonna be a very exciting fight, and both guys are gonna come to fight. You got the Ben Bonner, Tony Soto too. That's actually the fourth fight on the card. Really should be the third fight, but I think Garbarino sells so many tickets they made him the feature fight, and he's from Philly, so this is an opportunity for him. He's 3-0 by the way, and Tomlinson's 2-2. Bonner 4-2, Tony Soto 6-2. Like I said, this fight is for the number one contender spot. Basically, there's the number one contender versus number one contender. The winner of this fight will fight Austin Trout come April or May in Dubai, and it's going to be a slobber knocker. Their first fight was action packed. Bonner came in on 8 days' notice. You could tell that by round 5 he was getting tired because he had the cardio was rough, but he put a beating on Tony Soto pretty good. He won that fight rather clearly. But got to see what Soto's got in his bag. He said he's more clear than ever. He was hurt in the past. I mean, that's fighter speak. I don't take anything to that stuff anymore. You lost, you lost. Get better. I think one of the biggest problems a lot of fighters have is they make a lot of excuses for why they lost the fight rather than just accepting that they lost the fight, and got to get better at stuff and got to make changes, and that's part of fighting. I'm not a fighter, but I would think if I got my ass, I better figure something out. And I can't blame having a cold or having a headache or having something. I gotta really look in the mirror and self-examine myself. I'm like, yo, I gotta make changes to have a chance to beat this dude. So let's see what happens, man. I love Ben Bonner's personality, man. This guy reminds me of Iceman from Top Gun, sunglasses, shirt off, just flexing the entire time. I think he's absolutely hilarious. I mean, to me, he reminds me of a South Florida dude. You know, he came to Hard Rock, his shirt was open the entire time. I think that guy's a character. I think he's a great fighter, and I'm looking forward to seeing this guy fight again. You got Patrick Brady and Bear Hill, 2-0, 2-0 in the heavyweight division. Gonna be a big time slobber knocker between these two big heavy men. Um, Not much to say, but this is going to be a pretty good fight. I'm expecting fireworks. The women's bantamweight fight: Jade Masang Wong versus Crystal Pittman. These women did battle about 5-6 years ago. It was the first fight for both of them. Masang Wong won via cuts on Pittman. We've had a lot of fights since then, a lot of years since then. One thing I did notice in the press conference, their face-off, is that Pittman just looks way bigger than Masang Wong. Now she's only an inch taller, and she was wearing these massive heels, but it wasn't that. She just looks way bigger. I think that Masang Wong could probably fight at 25. In fact, that was her last fight. It was at 25 against Christine. It was at 25 against Christine Faria. So she's coming up and waiting for this fight. I'm interested in this fight. This is going to be a banger of a fight already. And I'll tell you this, they did have a little joke about both these women being on OnlyFans. So and what Masang Wong said, that they've already done some stuff on OnlyFans together. So if y'all are interested, go to their OnlyFans pages, because apparently they got some stuff going on together. I don't know. But that's what was said in the press conference today. And then they said there might be some stuff after on OnlyFans. I have no idea. Very interesting. I mean, the whole OnlyFans component to women's BKFC is very, very intriguing, but yeah, different. That's for sure. Both attractive women, so it's one of those things. The sex sells, man, and for perverted men, like most men are, it works. I can only imagine what the outfits are going to look like tomorrow at the weigh-in. We'll see. Now, Mike the Marine Richmond, Joe Elmore. This is a fight that started off at the Hard Rock in December. They went at it with each other in the stands, and this was a fight that needed to get made. Richmond is a former champion, 7-3. Elmore's 2-4. This fight's being fought at 175 at middleweight. Richmond was the light heavyweight champion before he got knocked out before he got stopped. He got knocked out before he got stopped, really, by Job Steyer due to those nasty, nasty cuts. I think it was by the cuts he got stopped, if I recall correctly. The cuts were so bad. Maybe I forget. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm misremembering. I know those cuts were horrible. But Mike Richmond, man, this guy is a warrior, the Marine. Elmore looks like a crazy man. They're fighting at 175. Elmore typically fights at 165. I know Richmond has said previously that he's looking to move back to 165, which I think would make him incredibly dangerous for his opponents. It's going to be a pretty dangerous fighter if he goes back to 165. This fight's at 75. It's going to be a slobber knocker. These guys are going to crush each other. Pat Sullivan and Felony Charles Bennett, 101 versus 0-3. This is the one fight that I'm not really all that keen about. This Charles Bennett character, he just goes in there, he just gets paid to lose. Um, he doesn't win fights. It's been a joke for many, many years, and I think Pat Sullivan, it's just is going to be easy work. But the Irishman's in it. I mean, Irishman's built like a freaking like a freight train, and Bennett seems to be more about the jokey joke stuff, and it's not that great in my opinion. Cody Russell, Harrison Aiken. These are two big sluggers. Harrison Aiken and the Headhunters 3-4, 5'10". So Russell's 5'9", 1-0. Russell's a pretty sizable favorite in this fight, but Harrison Aiken has been in there with the best of them. He last fought Donald Sanchez and had a tough, took Donald's former contender to Dave Mundell's belt. Took him 5 rounds, man. It took him 5 rounds and he lost the decision, but he did prove that he could stand there with the best of them. And I think this is a great opportunity for him to get back on the horse and get a W. Russell is considered an up and coming contender for the BKFC at 1-0. This fight is taking place at middleweight, so it's taking place at 175. Aiken, has fought anywhere between 85 heavy. He's fought at heavyweight, in fact, in different organizations. So this should be a power punching affair. And you got lightweight Zedekiah Montanez and Brandon Meyer. These guys fought last year at the same location. Meyer came in with the victory. Montanez has not fought since then. He's 0-1. Meyer's 3-3. Should make for an exciting fight. I'm actually kind of surprised that Montanez is a bigger favorite, a favorite in this fight over Meyer, considering he lost to him. But it's a pretty close line. Pre-fights of the night, starting off the night with Travis Thompson and Joshua Oxendine. Thompson is a longtime vet of BKFC. He's got 13 bare-knuckle fights, 6-7, and Oxendine is 0-0. Thompson always comes to bang. He's always ready to fight in the bantamweight division, and Oxendine will find out who he is, man. He's 0-0. Prince Nassim, another guy who's never fought in the BKFC, unless Brett Schoenfeld, another guy who's 0-0. Lines are plus 100 on both sides. Who knows? And then you got Lex Ludlow. Lex, the Grizzly Bear Ludlow, friend of the program. Zach, Shark Attack Kalmus. Kalmus is 5-4. Ludlow is 2-0. He has 2 impressive knockouts. Last year, he's fantastic on the mic. I cannot wait to hear what he says if he wins this fight, because he has something in store, and it's going to be exciting. He wants to send Kalmus back to the homeless shelter. He has said all kinds of stuff about Kalmus. I think it's absolutely hysterical. But this is going to be a big fight for him. He's in his home area. He's from just outside of Philadelphia. So he's going to have a lot of people in the crowd for him. And he already has his entire Sunday meal planned. I mean, he's going to be eating like half of Philadelphia on Sunday for the Super Bowl, based on what he told me in our interview earlier this week. If you haven't checked that out, please do go check it out. He's a pretty decent favorite at minus 324, but tell you what, he's a fighter, man. And this is going to be a banger of a fight between these two guys. So let's jump in now on our predictions. So I'm going to take Travis Thompson. I'm going to take Prince Nassim. I'm going to take Ludlow in that fight against Kalmus. In the main card, I'm going to take Brandon Meyer. I'm going to take Harrison Aiken. I'm taking Pat Sullivan. By the way, if you want to actually go start through it, I like Thompson by stoppage. I like Nassim by stoppage. I like Ludlow by stoppage. I think Ludlow finishes it by round 2. I like Brandon Meyer via decision. I like Harrison Aiken via decision. I like Pat Sullivan via first round KO. I like Mike Richmond via probably this one could be nasty real fast. This one may not get out of round 1. I like Richmond via knockout round 1. I like Crystal Pittman via decision over Masang Wong. I think she gets to get back after a number of years waiting for that fight. I like Barrett Hill, man, via decision over Patrick Brady. And I like Ben Bonner. I like Ben Bonner via stoppage by round 3 over Soto. I think Ben Bonner is a fantastic fighter. I think he is one of the best fighters in the world. That fight last year against Soto was so damn impressive. If you didn't see it, you should watch it before Saturday, because it was so impressive to see a guy come off the couch on 8 days, fly across the world from England, and have that kind of performance. Just nothing short of spectacular. Garbarino Tomlinson, I think these guys are going to come ready to kill each other. I mean, like I said, I'm not a big fan of the shtick anymore of throwing cannolis at people. I think it's silly and childish. I get it, it's to sell tickets and stuff like that, but I think there are things that you can do that are a little bit different to sell tickets. I mean, talk your shit and all, but I think there's a lot of danger that can come throwing shit at people, to be quite honest. But again, it's done. Whatever it is, it is. There will be a guy though that next time he fights somebody who's trying to have something to throw back at him, and he may not like it very much. Heck, the person may bring something that's a lot nastier than a cannoli. Um, who knows? Maybe a squid chopped up. I don't know. I can give you all some ideas because I wouldn't be playing that shit. But I do like Garbarino via finish. I think he finishes him by round two. He's a huge favorite. He has the whole city behind him, and if he loses, it would be a bad night for him. So I like him via finish via round two. Thomas is coming off a loss against Peter Peraza, and Garbarino packs a big punch. This fight's at middleweight, man. I mean, that's substantial because he didn't fight Peraza at middleweight. I know that. Peraza's fighting at 165. So he's going up 10 pounds. Tomlinson does have a win over Sullivan last year in Philadelphia. But I think this is I like Garbarino in this fight. Now the fight between Lorenzo Hunt and Dave Mundell, this fight is this is a stylistic matchup. Whose style imposes on who? Does Lorenzo Hunt overwhelm Mundell with his power? I mean, Hunt is really quick. I mean, he is yoked, but he is quick. Mundell is younger, man. He's like 10 years younger than Lorenzo Hunt. I think Mundell's like 34. He's 34, and Lorenzo Hunt's 43, I believe. Not a huge height difference, but there is a strength difference, and we have to be honest about that. The strength difference is big. And the only guys that I could see giving Lorenzo Hunt a real problem are these big heavyweights. Like if you fought a heavyweight that was 6 foot tall, 6'1", 220, I don't think Lorenzo Hunt will have any issues with that guy. But you get a guy like Ben Rothwell who walks around as a 6'4", 265, just making weight, probably walks into the ring at 280, 290, and probably just walks around 300 as it is. That might be a big pill to chew on right there, to swallow. So those are the only guys that I can see giving Hunt a problem. I mean, he did lose to Mick Terrell. I mean, he got dropped and then his arm blew out, but that's a big dude. Terrell's a big mofo, man. Those are the guys that I think that would give Hunt issues. I can't see a guy that's smaller than him giving him much problem. I don't think Mundell has the power to knock Hunt out. Who knows? Maybe he could come with it and shock us all with a knockout. I just don't see it. One of the things that Mundell said, where he said that he's waiting for Hunt to get tired. Hunt was in fact like tired. When have you seen me tired? And I agree with that. I've never seen Hunt tired in a fight. And of course, Mundell says, "Well, I see things that you don't see." Whatever. I have not seen Hunt look visibly tired in a BKFC fight in any of the fights that I've seen him in. So. But again, how far can Mundell push this fight? If this fight only lasts a round or two, Hunt's going to win via knockout. If this fight goes 5, then who knows? Maybe he does get him tired. Maybe Mundell's on a bicycle and making Hunt move around like he hasn't had to move around before. I'm not sure what's going to happen. I know it's going to be exciting. This is for the pound for pound number 1. I can't see Mundell beating Lorenzo Hunt. Like, I picked Josh Dyer over Lorenzo Hunt, and he damn near had him. He had those 2 big knockdowns in the first round and kind of got a little bit too excited. I don't know that I'll ever pick against Lorenzo Hunt again. Like, I think Lorenzo Hunt would have mopped the floor with Yoel Romero. Like, seriously. Like, if that fight had happened, I would have picked Lorenzo Hunt via knockout inside of round 1. I think this fight could go to a second round because of second or third round because of Mundell's skill. Mundell is skilled. Like, that skill level is hard to replicate. So if the longer the fight goes, the better advantage Mundell has. If this fight is over inside of 3, it's going to be with Hunt's hand raised. Again, I've never seen Hunt tired in a fight, but again, he hasn't had to fight a guy smaller than him like this who can move around. So that could be something to watch out for. I've talked to fighters, and a lot of guys think Mundell has a good shot. So this isn't something where people are thinking that Hunt's just going to run him over. But I'm going to tell you this. I think Hunt's going to run him over. I think Hunt's going to knock him out inside of round 2. By round 2, maybe round 1, but definitely by round 2, I think Hunt's power is overwhelming. And I think he catches Mundell and puts him out. Will it be the Mike Richmond or the Josh Dyers? Wait, I don't know, but I think he puts him out. And again, it doesn't. It does. If Mundell loses, he took this fight on 2 weeks' notice, man. This wasn't. Yeah, he may have been preparing a little bit for it, but he took it on 2 weeks' notice, and I just don't. He has nothing. Mundell realistically has nothing to lose in this fight. Really doesn't. This is he. Hunt has everything to lose. Mundell's got nothing to lose. That pound for pound number one shit. That's all that gimmicky crap. If Floyd Mayweather fought a 215-pound dude, he'd get his ass knocked out. Like he wouldn't have been the pound for pound nothing because he would have gotten killed. So let's see. I like Hunt via knockout by round 2. Ben Rothwell, Andrei Arlovski, big heavies go at it. This fight ain't getting out of round 1. I like Ben Rothwell to finish Arlovski. I think he finishes him inside of a minute. I think he finishes him inside of a minute. He hits so damn hard. This ain't MMA. This ain't MMA. That's all I got to say. I think Ben Rothwell gets his get back. He retains his strap. And I think we see him fighting potentially Leonardo Perdomo sometime this summer. It's my expectation. Don't quote me. I know Perdomo didn't look that good in his last fight. And I know he probably needs to get another fight because the issues that he dealt with Corey Willis were pretty substantial. You know, that weight, the resting against him and so forth, the putting the weight on, the wrestling him. That's exactly what Ben Rothwell will do. He's massive. So I do think we'll get one more fight from Perdomo. I don't know if he's fighting in March. I would presume he is. I can only guess. He wants to fight always. I could see him fighting. I don't even know he would fight because all these other guys are scheduled to fight. Like Terrell's scheduled to fight. Parker Porter's scheduled. I think Josh Watson's scheduled to fight. He's not fighting Adams again. So who knows? But they may give him somebody just to give him some work that could be heavy and big and rest on him and lay on him and cause him some problems before having him get a fight against Ben Rothwell. So we'll see what happens. But I do like Ben Rothwell to win via KO in round 1. I mean, those are my thoughts. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Remember, we will be here live 7 p.m. Saturday night. KnuckleMania 6. What the hell got my hair got in my mouth? KnuckleMania 6, man. It's going to be fireworks, folks. Don't miss it, man. Be here for all of your combat information and all your BKFC stuff right here, man. Combat Corner, and follow us on Instagram at Combat Corner Fight Network, man. We separated all the Instagrams. We all directed everything to Come On Now podcast, but everyone will have their own individual handle. And Combat Corner Fight Network, we've opened it up. Go on board, get on board, subscribe, and follow us there too. We appreciate y'all. We thank y'all. This is Combat Corner, powered by Come On Now, the podcast. Come on now.
Up and down through the blood and the sweat. Guarantee you can know I'm a threat. Up and down through the blood and the sweat. And I ain't close to being done yet, I'm going all in. Yeah, I'm going all in. And I ain't close to being done yet, I'm going all in. Yeah. They know I'm going all in. Through the blood and the sweat, y'all know we ain't close to being done yet, I'm going all in. I've been down from the jump. Ain't no love lost, we just really doing us. Go and take your seat, looking silly getting up. Y'all know what it is, let me tell them what it was. It was 24/7 on